I'm the Slash Movie Reviewer, and this is my review of the Rite. We follow this skeptical student, Michael Kovac, who is attending this exorcism school at the Vatican while he's in Rome. And Michael will eventually meet this priest named Father Lucas, who's played by the always terrific Sir Anthony Hopkins. And Anthony Hopkins is basically there to prove to him that, hey, the devil is real, it's alive, and he's, doing what he does more now than he did back then. I want to go ahead and say I am a fan of demonic possessions. I don't know what it is. I like a good exorcism movie. So I was a little excited to see the Rite. And I'm a huge fan of Anthony Hopkins. Hello, Silence of the Lambs. So I was kind of excited to see this. Now, I wasn't jumping out of my seat, like I am for like Paranormal Activity 3 or Scream 4. I'm not like uber joy, but I did want to see this film, and I'm glad I did. Now I do want to go ahead and state, let's get the negative out of the way, and then we'll talk about the pros. The biggest negative aspect is the pacing. It does tend to drag a little bit in this film. There's some serious pacing issues, and some of the scenes tend to go a tad longer. Not as long as for me as it may have for others, because unfortunately, I want to state, I think the Rotten Tomatoes score for this film is ridiculous. I don't believe in it at all. We all know critics don't like horror films. It's a known fact. But to give it the score that it did, I don't even feel like saying it because I'm so upset about it. It kind of hurts me, and it makes everything about it just look bad, and it's not. This is a pretty good movie. Yes, it's got its flaws and its faults, but honestly, take it for what it is. It's a great film. And honestly, I want to also state about all the critics who are out there who keep comparing this film to The Exorcist. We know nothing's ever going to touch The Exorcist. I don't think I've seen a demonic possession since The Exorcist where it doesn't make me think The Exorcist. The Exorcist covered it all. So every time we go see a demonic possession, we know it's not going to top The Exorcist. There's just no possible way. So what we need to do is we need to just completely erase everything we know about The Exorcist. Just watch it for what it is. Go in with an open mind, and you're gonna come out happy. Now, let's talk about some pros to the Rite. The Rite has some terrific cast. The cast is so good in this film. The best, of course, being Sir Anthony Hopkins. He is electrifying in this. I was stunned at his performance in this film. It's very, very catchy, and no matter what Anthony Hopkins does, he's gonna bring it. He's gonna give it his A game, no matter how weak the script is or whatever problems allowed in the studios or whatever. He's always gonna give it his best effort, and it shines every time. And this is one of the best acting I've seen Anthony Hopkins give in quite some time. Maybe a little too good for this movie. It's so good. At first he's really good, but it's towards the end where he just shines. It's like the heavens just shined a light on him, and it was just like, it was epic. He made those scenes so gripping. Just the way he carries himself, the way he talks, he seems like you're not your average priest, but still a man of faith and a man of God. Now let's talk about the scares, because this is a horror film, so that is what we go see it for. So let's talk about the scares. The Rite, being a PG-13 film, it's a pretty tense and scary film. I do want to state this is a demonic possession, and what I love, you're not going to see no, if I may quote Sir Anthony Hopkins, no spinning heads and pea soup. All the stuff seems very realistic and like it could actually happen, like almost a way in questioning, is this demonic possession or just, does she need to see a psychiatrist? Is this mental, stuff like that. Sort of like The Last Exorcism, how it balanced whether or not should we believe it or not. They want us to believe it. Anthony Hopkins wants to believe this is a demon, while Michael Kovac wants to believe she's just a very sick girl. She needs a shrink. So, and another thing, I'm jumping around, but Anthony Hopkins gives like this greatest line about how to prove about when the devil isn't here and stuff like that. It is so good. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's so good. I mean, back to the scares. Alright, so the Rite is by the guy who did give us the horror film of Stephen King's adaptation 1408, which I thought was a really cool movie. So, and The Rite is just another good movie that he has, and it's not the best. I think 1408 is slightly better than this film, but The Rite is still a good film. I don't think it deserves the criticism that it's getting. Go see The Rite, but go see it, with an open mind, not open, but just go see it to go for a good couple of good scares, and you're gonna come out pretty happy. That's how I felt. I came out pretty happy. I wasn't jumping for joy, but I came out pretty happy, and I would buy the DVD. I'm feeling pretty good about this film, so I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5. I'm the Slash Movie Reviewer, and you've just been slashed.